everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. I wanted to show you this gorgeous, I think it's a doll trunk that I found not too long ago. The reason I'm over here, however, is that I just laid a few things up here for possibly using during October. And let's see, I've got fabric and paper up here. I've got more things in the house. I really need to bring them on out. Oh, I like that. I like that and that. Oh, and that paper. So here I am. This is morning face. I can use it like a mirror. So I didn't sleep very well for the first few hours of the night. I don't know why. I just kept waking up. At the moment I need coffee. So I've got the studio door open. And let's see. I wish a deer would walk by. You would probably love that. Anyway, I am going to do a journal spread. I just feel like I have to wake up a little bit first. Let's see. I have to go to work in a couple of hours. And I heard a bird. Seems like everything got really quiet out there, and then there's just one lone creature. Sometimes the squirrels can sound like birds. Okay, I'm gonna switch. Ooh, I just saw an email come through. 25% off ladies' pants at the thrift store. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to switch the camera view and do my journal spread for today. Okay, so here we are. The yellow is not going into the journal, but I wanted to show you something that I learned last night. This was totally new to me. I wanted to do some sketching, so I took out some of my pencils that appeared to be sketching pencils. I don't really know that much about different leads and things. It is something I want to learn more about. But I pulled all of these out, and you know, you can see it's just different things. We've got this copyright colored indelible, which really piqued my interest. I didn't really know what that meant, and I did a sketch in this pencil. I wrote down the name of the pencil. The lead just felt maybe not substantial enough. I don't know. It didn't really feel like a sketching pencil, and that's probably because it's not. I read a little bit about indelible ink, and probably most of you know this. I did not know this. It was used to make copies before we had more modern ways to make copies. So you could write a letter in indelible lead, and it's got ink mixed into it. The ink in it is actually, it can be kind of dangerous or very dangerous, I guess, if you're exposed to it, you know, in large amounts, or if you get a piece of the lead into your skin or something. I think the formulation has gotten safer, or the way they do it. I didn't spend all night reading about it, but just the basics are that pencil or that ink was used to write a letter, and then you could take a damp piece of tissue or light paper and press it down, you know, mechanically. Just make sure that every square inch makes good contact. So then when you turn it over, you have a copy that can be read by putting it in a mirror, and that is what that is. I won't talk about the other leads. They're just different things, charcoals and artist pencils. One of the things that I've kind of had my memory refreshed about while researching witches, a lot of witches, or quote-unquote witches, who were brought to trial or who were imprisoned, they weren't witches at all. I think a lot of superstition and maybe lack of knowledge in the 1600s and around that time frame, 1500s, it just scared people. Life was so much harder, and people worked hard for everything, every bite of food, every mouth to feed, every child that was born. You know, it was almost a death sentence because of sanitation and poverty. So from the 1400s through the 1700s, or let's say maybe the 1600s, I don't know exactly when it ended, when just this craze of witch hunting was going on across Europe, people would assign the name witch to anyone who was ugly, especially women who had hooked noses or warts, or they had hair on their face, or who were maimed in any way, or if they were born deformed. And anyone who had any kind of mark, they thought it could be a mark from the devil. So I just did some sketching last night. I'm not a stellar artist by any means, but I do like to sketch, and I like to practice, because I think the more you practice, the better you get. And I'm just going to use these little sketches in my spread today with some of my notes that I want to add to this page. So let's just tear straight across there and see if we can come down here without ripping her dress up there. This up here is a bigger sketch. Let's tear this across the top, straight across there. We'll fold that under so the words are still there. The charcoal, you can definitely pull that off the paper. And then I am getting some ink off of that. That's the artist pencil. Not so much on that. I need to figure out how I want to put these in. I might just try to stick them in like that. And I tell you, one of the things that I learned like just a few years ago, or let's see, it would have been maybe a couple of years ago, from Liz Drake's channel, when she makes the junk journals without using sewing, and she makes signatures, but then they're glued in. And I've made some journals that way that turned out awesome. I'm just going to put a just a little trough here of glue. I am going to stick all three of these papers in it and make sure they go all the way down. I can feel that the glue is getting each one of them. I just want to be sure they are all. So you would want to have, probably like I do, you would want to have straight edges on this side of the paper so that it gets down in there. And while that is sort of setting or drying, I'm going to put a paper clip on those and just let those stand. I'm also going to use this image, The Bird of Morning. Poe's famous poem has given the raven a reputation as a melancholy bird, but really he is impudent, inquisitive, and mischievous. I love that. I love ravens and crows. Such smart birds. So I want to put that on that page. Put that to the side. I may use more from that. I'm not going to include the yellow just because of the color. I will make a note, though, of what I learned. Let's tear a piece of paper to write today's entry on. I like it that way. Okay, so I wrote witches, 1400s to 1600s. Because of superstition, poverty, and sometimes just disgust, anyone who was ugly, women with hooked noses, warts, hair on their face, or even deformed, could be labeled a witch and dragged away for trial. Look, I put witched. We'll just make a purple blob there. How about that? I'm out of this espresso alcohol ink. Oh my gosh, you all know I've had fun with that. I don't think I want to do this. I'll probably make a big mess. So I'm gonna be tame this morning with my ink, since I haven't been awake for very long, and since I don't totally have my setup out here for just making big messes. But that's on the way. It's supposed to get really cool. Well, when I say really cool, the 70s, that's gonna feel so cool after having it be almost 100. It was 96 yesterday. And you know, in North Carolina, the humidity, oh my goodness. It just felt like a sauna outside. So I think I'm gonna just glue this down right here. And I like to have that butterfly showing over here. I know I wanna use some of this paper in this journal. Love this paper. I recently bought quite a few pieces of Japanese paper, and this was with that paper. Now, I don't know exactly that all of it was Japanese. I think it was. I think it came from, you know, a place that sold Japanese paper. We get so many gorgeous things in at work, and I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again. The employees do not get first dibs at things, and I love that. I love that the customers come first. I was a customer at the Reuse Center for years and years before I started working there. So it makes me happy for the customers to have the opportunity to shop things before we do. So believe me, the customers had shots at this gorgeous, gorgeous paper. There was a lot of it, so I think everybody got what they wanted. Where's my little, let's put him right here. This paper's really thin, so I don't want to put too much glue. I do think it helps to preserve it though in some form. I hear my crows out there. I've got my little, the names of my pencils, 3 little sketches, and some information. Where is the really light stain? You can tell this one's almost empty too. I need to go shopping for sure. So let's just take a look. Oh, I still love that shadow box. Love the family tree. And these are quick pages. Soon I will get into adding some storyline for the people in the family tree. So that's it. I'm going to be really careful with these. I'm going to give those all day to dry. I'll be back tonight after work to check on this. But for now, oh, I'm not done. I need to put my date. So how can it be October 3rd? How can it be October 3rd? There we go. I may come back and do more to all of these pages. That's one of the things I love to do. To me, a journal is, it's just a living sort of work of art. You can come back to it at any time and add to the story that you're working on. And I just love that. So this book, I love the way it's turning out so far. It's exactly, so far, what I wanted it to be. And just think, we have 28 days to go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.